super excited to introduce to community pharmacies this opportunity that's going to be not only beneficial for your seniors, all of the Medicare patients that you have coming into your community pharmacy, but it'll also be very profitable. What I love about this program is there's zero startup costs. So I know it's tough to make a living in community pharmacy today, and the PBMs are in the middle of that. And so excited to introduce this to you. So my name is Breck Rice. I'm one of the co-founders of ServeRx. We're a third-party claims processor, if you don't know what we do. But I also host a couple of podcasts. I host the PBM Reform podcast on the Pharmacy Podcast Network, where I do anything and everything I can to help with the reform of PBMs. And then I also host the More Profit Roundtable. And I've been preaching to this group for a long time that you've got to get into clinical services. You've got to start doing, moving some of the wonderful things that you do and moving that over into the clinical side. Something as simple as flu shots can bring such a higher reimbursement to you if you're doing it on the clinical side. So you've heard me preach about that for a long time now. But all of those programs, which are great, all have some startup costs. So I'm loving this program that I'm going to share with you today because there are no startup costs, and the benefits to not only your pharmacy and to your patients is going to be tremendous. I will tell you, I'm introducing the folks here. George Veronis and Tony Baldwin represent CereSkills, which is the program. It's a turnkey program that they're going to demo for you today. But the one thing I want to make sure you understand is that this is really helping you get started into that clinical side without a lot of upfront startup costs. There's no upfront or back end. You just get paid from Medicare by administering this program, and the administration of it doesn't require any additional staff members, which I love as well. It's something that you can do on your own and won't have to hire somebody to manage this for you. But what is key is that this program has been around for a while. Even though it's new to community pharmacy, there is a fairly large marketing force out there taking this to primary care providers, to the doctors. But I want that revenue to be generated here through community pharmacy and not on the provider side. And this fits into so many of the programs that we've been talking with you about with Brim Wellness Centers and the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network. So would like to invite Tony to share his screen and let him go through the demo with you. And again, this is being recorded. We can send it out to you afterwards as well, so that you've got can go back to any of this. And then George is going to make himself available for any follow-up questions that you have. But super excited to share with you CereSkills. I'm putting my own in-laws on this program because of how beneficial it is. All right, Tony.
Hey, I'll just say one thing, Breck. So first of all, thanks everybody for coming on. My name is George Veronis, and I'm partnered with Tony on this program. So we're going to take about 25 minutes to go through this. We'll send you the information and the video that you'll see, so you don't have to take a lot of notes. And then at the end, if you like what you see and you want to set up a one-on-one with me or answer more of your questions, then we'll have our calendar link and my phone number at the end with that. So this is a very intriguing program. I haven't had any senior not want to be on this when they see it, especially when you see the issue. And it's a great, as Breck said, revenue generating for the pharmacy with no capital and very little work. So with that, thanks for coming on. And Tony, I'll turn it over to you to go through the presentation.
Fantastic. Thanks everybody for coming today. We have an agenda, a goal, which is, as Breck said, we want to help community pharmacies not just stay alive, but thrive. And we believe that this is an excellent way to do exactly that. But as we all know, everything starts with your patients. And CereSkills has documentation, studies, etc., that prove it does certain things. One, it improves memory, balance, it improves cognition, it helps reduce stress, helps with decision making, and bottom line, all of that results in a better quality of life for your patients, which is not just laudable, but imperative. We have to do something to help them. And we're going to give you a quick video overview of CereSkills so you can get a full idea of how it works.
CereSkills is a clinically proven and Medicare reimbursable program that literally prevents and often reverses memory loss, cognitive regression, and loss of balance, thereby slowing decline and helping to prevent falls, as well as helping with stress, anxiety, working memory, concentration, decision-making, and emotional control. CereSkills comes with a 23-year record of success in working to improve plasticity in the cerebellum, which will improve patients' quality of life, helping them to remain independent for as long as possible. We are pleased to provide you the ability to make CereSkills available to your patients, and we make it so easy. We provide a turnkey solution, including patient support and Medicare billing under our Medicare NPI. Introducing CereSkills to your patients is easy, as we do the entire introduction and education for your practice. We'll send patients a landing page containing educational videos, and then give them the option of enrolling in the program, and we can also reach out by phone. When they enroll, our coaches personally call by phone to welcome them and send a welcome email with logins to their personal customized programs. Their personal coaches are available by phone as needed to help them along the way. Information on your patient's monthly progress will be available in our secure portal, and if you choose to review their reassessments each month, you can earn administrative services fees for the time you spend reviewing the assessments. We take care of all patient support, coaching, encouragement, and all billing. CereSkills can have a major positive impact on your patients without creating any additional work for you or your staff. Just click the Get Started button on this page to begin.
Okay, as we go along, on a personal note, I'm 77 years old, and if you look at this page, memory, recall, response time, balance, falls, loss of independence, that should be in all caps and bold, because that is what all of us are thinking about in my age group, and I'm sure you're aware of that. This can also help prevent or delay dementia by early discovery through the process, early cognitive enhancement. It's about the plasticity of the cerebellum, and everything in this program is designed exactly to do that. Daily interaction. Your clients, your patients are able to utilize the app every day, create that, which ends up reducing their stress. The engagement, as you saw in the video, they have an opportunity to get help from their health coach. One of the buzzwords today in the world of health is health coach. Most people don't think they can afford it, and they're amazed when they find out that Medicare will actually pay for it. And there are programs. We had a gentleman last night that sent us a testimony, and he talked about, in addition to the very easy to do exercises, they have brain games that are additional challenges for the brain, and the brain is the ultimate example of the use it or lose it. Now, for your pharmacy, first of all, as Breck mentioned, it's turnkey. You don't need to hire anybody additional. There's no capital investment. Really, it's just about profit. And we do the marketing on your behalf. We provide a personalized video where you record about 15 or 20 seconds of your assessment. Recommend that people watch the rest of a CereSkills video and sign up on your dedicated landing page. So all of that is done for you. Here's a revenue projection at $25 per month per participant. If you had only 100 of your patients on this program, that is $2,500 a month, $30,000 a year. Many pharmacies who have large clientele are getting 300 patients. That's $75 a month. That's $90,000 a year to the bottom line. So, and we're not talking about revenue here. We're talking about profit, which is a critical distinction. This is from the National Library of Medicine. If you look at the bottom of this slide, you're going to see an article from PubMed. We invite you to take a look at that. You know, the key to this is understanding that this is not something that quote unquote is on trial. It's proven. Psychology Today talks about stimulating the cerebellum and how it boosts older adults like myself in terms of maintaining and even improving their memory. So this is a great opportunity to do well by doing good. They do get an app on their phone or tablet. It looks like this. And as you can see, this person on the right here, this is the beginning of what is an exercise, just holding up your foot. Actually, I spoke to one senior. He didn't even have to bend his knee. Initially, after the assessment, they said, just pick your foot up about a foot or 6 inches, whatever you can do. And they take it from there, keep improving. So how it works for seniors. Let's look at their side.
Want to know how Zing could work for you? If it will maybe help recover some of your key skills or your memory? Well, that's exactly what Zing is designed to do. And this is how it happens. First of all, you'll get a coach, a Zing coach, who gets everything set up for you. And the first thing is to identify the potential to improve your important faculties. And believe me, everybody has at least some potential for this. So to measure your potential, you do some assessments. They look a bit like games. But actually, they were designed by a professor to cleverly work out how your skills are currently wired up by your brain, so we can work out how to make those skills perform better. You've done that, you get a 10-page report explaining where there's scope to make a real difference to your everyday life. It would explain why some things have become harder than they used to be, and what difference it could make to you if you redeveloped those key skills. Most seniors, when they start to notice decline, they don't just want to cope with the decline. They want to know if it's possible to get their skills back, to get about easier, to not be frightened of falling, to be confident again, to have a good memory also. Well, your report will explain all of this, and then the real process starts. Your coach will show you how to download the Zing app on your phone, then explain exactly how to use the Zing program. But remember, your brain is totally unique, so you'll need and you'll be getting a totally personalized program of exercises tuned to your brain's potential. The first secret of this program is they're not ordinary exercises. They're not hard work sort of exercises either. Their job is to increase the brain's plasticity, which means get it stimulated to learn and develop your skills again, a bit like pressing a reset button. Zing exercises 2 different parts of your brain at the same time, because that's the secret to increased plasticity. And your exercises show up on your app. They look a bit like this, and they'll only take you 10 minutes a day. But there's a second secret. As your skills improve when you're doing this program, your brain will find that doing the exercises get easier. And that means they become a bit less of a challenge, and so your development slows down. But that's not what we want. We want the development to continue to find all of your potential. So every day, Zing adjusts your exercises to keep your brain stimulation at the optimum level so you keep progressing and your skills keep improving. Does that sound good? Well, I know you'll want to keep track of what's happening, right? That's why every 30 days you repeat that assessment and re-measure your important skills so you can see for yourself your progress as it happened. Here's the latest report of a client that's doing the program. See how much progress he's made? It's already made a noticeable difference to his life too. And with this, you get a video from your coach explaining your 30-day progress checks, explaining the charts and skills that are being measured. But people always want to know, do you have to keep this up forever? No. That's the wonderful thing about when you develop skills using this type of exercise, they generally last for a good while. Most complete the course in 9 or 12 months. And what's happened during that time? Well, the program is designed for you to rediscover some of your skills and faculties, and that the confidence you need to have a fuller, more active life has returned to you. When you finish the program, you can choose to participate in our maintenance program with similar exercises, but done less frequently. Your coach will help you with this choice when the time comes. And of course, we'll want to celebrate all your achievements with you.
Okay. So here are some testimonials that would be a part of what your clients get an opportunity to take a look at. We can listen to one of these, or we'll send it to you later, probably in honor of time. We'll just go on, but to know, so that
Tony,
you
go
know.
ahead and play the one. It's all right. Play the 65.
Hi there, my name's Roger. I'm 65 years old. I've been doing CereSkills for 5 months now. I work construction full time, and I've noticed that getting around the job site up and down ladders is much easier now. My balance has really improved drastically. I've also noticed that my memories are coming back to me. I've got a better memory now. I used to get a list from my wife to go to the store and pick up 4 or 5 items, and that would be a struggle. Whereas now it's a little bit easier, and I don't have nearly as many problems, or I can remember more things. I've also noticed that I had dyslexia, and I love to read, and so I check out books all the time, and I've noticed my reading has really picked up a lot. It's so much better. I can track a little bit better as far as I'm reading. So I really feel
My
like
name is Randy. Recently turned 60.
Okay, and this is a doctor. You want to hear this one too, George, down in Irving, Texas?
No, you skip that one. Go ahead.
Okay, as a part of the program, you appoint what they call a virtual care champion. It could be you, it could be one of your staff. And their job is very simple, go through a simple process to get all of this started. And then again, it is a plug and play after that. This is the form that your clients, once they have elected to enroll, they put in their insurance information. And again, last night we were on a call with a gentleman who talked about his experience. Took him about 5 minutes, and he was off to the races. And actually, he and his wife now are both enrolled, and they're having little contests about who can make the most improvement. But as you can see, that's a short, sweet, and simple form. We do provide posters for your pharmacy that can have QR codes and other things that actually relate back to or link back to your landing page so that you always get credit. The beauty of that is you could actually post this up somewhere in a few places. Somebody could come in for aspirin, whatever, and they could just say, that looks interesting, and add to your client base right there. So the patient onboarding is really very simple. We do all of that work for you, and we make sure that there are appropriate services onboard the patient. Again, turnkey, keeps your team in the loop, but with no additional work. So we do send them texts on your behalf, and they show they're coming from you, so they know that that's true. And this is the video that I alluded to, which starts out, the very first part is an illustration of what you would do if you elect to do so. You don't have to, but it is recommended since people trust you.
Hi, Dr. Smith here. I would like to introduce you to a program called CereSkills, which, according to numerous studies that I have been able to review, has the ability to improve the life of our seniors through improved cognition, balance, preventing falls, and improved memory. I would encourage you to watch the rest of this video, and if you like what you see, tap on the enroll button.
Okay, that's where it goes into that video that we showed you before. So you would be at the front of that video. What's important on this page is this is a message that you could record or modify as you would, but you definitely want to highlight that they get a personal health coach, because that is something people are talking about every day today. These are the enrollment conversation that you can review for your satisfaction. Make sure that it is verbiage that you approve of. It can be changed for your clients. And here's where the rubber, as they say in North Carolina, meets the road. This is what your monthly obligation is to earn the $25 per patient, because Medicare is a fee for service, as you know, a payment.
Working with CereSkills is easy for you and your staff. If you choose to review your patient's monthly progress and earn administrative services fees, you will be sent a weekly email notification reminding you to log into your portal and review patient assessments. You, or an appropriate member of your staff, will review monthly assessment reports, review the summary data for the patient, add your notes, and then simply click the sign-off box next to the record. It's that easy, and it's that fast.
So as you can see, that is extremely quick. You just click on it, take a look, make sure nothing is out of whack, and make a little note, say everything looks good, and you're off to the races. Just to review again, because I don't think we can overstate the potential for your pharmacy: $25 per month per participant. And as you saw, that is something you could do 100 patients probably in an hour or thereabouts. It'd be wonderful if you had 300 and it took you 2 or 3 hours and you made an extra $90,000 a year. So again, we're not talking about revenue, we're talking about profit. So what's next? Well, I think this would be a good time for any Q&A. However, it is possible, and I think Breck put it in the chat. Breck, if you want to jump in here, or George, and
we'll go put up the whole slide there, right? On the next page, actually, probably more. You got through that.
Yeah.
The other way, Tony.
Here you go.
And I've put that link in the chat a couple of times here so that you guys have it. That's how to schedule. Get on George's calendar.
Do you want to open up for questions, Breck?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and I know of a few folks came in late. We did record this, and we'll send out the full recording. For any interested parties, the best is just to set up the one-on-one with George and get enrolled. Again, there's a first mover advantage here. There's about well over 1,000 reps that are taking this program to the doctors, and we would much rather have the administrative fee from Medicare get paid to our community pharmacists rather than to the doctors. But would open it up at this time. Please feel free to come off mute and, for any questions you have, or if you feel more comfortable doing a one-on-one with George, you can do that as well. But thank you everybody for being here. I know poor Robert got my link late. I sent a calendar invite to a couple of people and then didn't put the link to this in, but I'll send it out to you so that you have it for sure. There was a couple of people that I got the link to late, and I apologize. But this was our very first time. We kind of alluded to it on my last roundtable last week, but wanted to dedicate a specific time specifically to CereSkills because I think this is a great program, and it just so happens that the what 100 patients on this program will generate what the what it costs to get implemented with IPPN. They have their implementation fee of 2,500 for the first 3 months or so, for a total of 7,500. So 100 patients on
Brad,
CereSkills.
you might just mention there is a phase 2 to this that we'll talk about also for additional income
Yep.
once we get them started. Do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, no, why don't you go ahead, George? I mean, it's an amazing program. Once you get this launched, then George, what do if we get what, 3 of their doctors?
Yeah, so we also have remote care with this monitoring, and mostly the doctors qualify for that. So one of the other things we're going to show you once we get started with you is how you could introduce us to 3 doctors you may know well. We'll implement the remote care CereSkills with them. And on the average, you'll pick up maybe another $1,000 a month. So if you get 3 doctors, that could add another 3 or 4,000 a month to your income beside the CereSkills in your practice. So this could have a lot of potential to range from a $2,500 a month up to thousands a month. And remote care, of course, is more longer term residual. And this is every month. And the CereSkills, you all patients come in and out of that after a year. But the remote care will go on and on as long as people are with their doctor and they're chronically ill. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of other potential that we'll get into more detail. So there's a phase 1 and phase 2 to this program. And again, at the end of the day, it's no cost to you. It's something that patients will appreciate greatly. And the other element is some people have asked us in the pharmacy, will this help us pick up patients? Well, if you're near a senior community center, you do any talk tracks in other areas, you could introduce CereSkills to like a community center, and it's great goodwill for you. You'll pick up their patients, and then also they might start coming to use your pharmacy. So there's a whole other revenue stream from that perspective for maybe advertising locally with this tool, but getting people to want to use your pharmacy locally. And that, I think that's going to be actually major. Plus, you'll pick up the revenue when like a community center picks up CereSkills, you get part of that revenue also. So anyway, there's a lot of options to this, but the best thing to do is just get started yourself on the program into your pharmacy, and call me and we'll go through the process of how to get started. It's pretty simple also.
Yeah, I love how turnkey it is, George, and how CereSkills will even do the patient outreach and recruiting for our pharmacy partners too, because we know they're very limited on their time. Obviously providing the signage and the flyers that you can stick into the prescription bag to send home with your senior patients, but then to actually do outreach to your Medicare patients. So
Yeah,
this is
that's one thing. That's one thing to emphasize. Beside the flyers and different things you could put in every bag and put around your office, uh, it's all HIPAA compliant. But the CereSkills does call or reach out to your patient base. They'll do 5 emails, 3 texts, and 2 phone calls, and they end up signing up over 80% that they reach. So it's a high reachable, and people love this program. So again, you'll get into more of that detail as you meet with them and do the onboarding.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah. Questions? Comments? Well, again, the information is in the chat to set up a call, schedule a call to get walk through the whole enrollment process. 0 cost to the pharmacy, and then besides it being a turnkey solution, your responsibility as the administrator is reviewing the progress, and then submitting.
You see the comment in the chat?
Oh, yeah, that's probably a question for Tony or you. If I think it's got to be the pharmacist that signs off on it as
I'm not sure. Let me check on that. I think you
Okay.
can use the tech, but I'll confirm that back with Tim.
Yeah, so the question was, does it require the pharmacist to be the provider of record? I think it does, but we'll get clarification on that. This can be launched prior to your setting up and having a collaborative practice agreement, which is all of what the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network is preparing people who want to set up the full Brim clinics. So this is even pre-launch of having a full, collaborative practice agreement, and then your credentialing and contracting with the payer community, because CereSkills is the one that's doing all of the billing for Medicare on this.
Yeah, so the question about is there a cost to the patient? Sorry, but as a cost to the patient, there is not. They right now they have to be on Plan B. Within the year, they'll take anybody that's on Medicare that's over 65, obviously. But no, they simply get this link, they click a button, they put some simple information in it, and they enroll. They put their health insurance in. It clicks. It says they qualify, so it's 100% paid for. So it's not reimbursed. It's paid right off the bat. 'Cause it's about $1,000 a year. Gets paid right off the bat, and then within a day they get information to set up an app, and they also have a person that calls them. So if they're struggling to set up the app, they'll walk them right through it, and then they start their 10-minute exercise. Literally 10 minutes every day. To get paid by Medicare, they have to do it 16 times of the 30 days in the month. Most of them will do it every day. If they do miss even 2 days in a row, they get a text or an email and a phone call to get them back on track to keep using it. And the average person will stay on 8 to 12 months, and then they recycle different people coming on and so forth. So it's very simple.
Explain the advantage, because this is covered by Medicare 100%, but explain where we're at with the Advantage plans.
Well, whenever Plan B is accepted by Medicare, which in this case it is, uh, the Advantage plans have to also jump on board within 18 months, and it's been already a year. So, like in Texas, it's already approved for Advantage Plan and the Plan B, but every other state throughout this year coming up will also get approved on that. So that'll increase our basis by 2 times,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah, good questions. Thank you.
Right. Well, I think if that's it, you could send out the email to everybody and with the recording. The videotapes will be on there if you want to see it again. And be assured, it's a 23-year-old company. It's mostly was built in Europe. It came to the U.S. The company we represent has exclusive rights to it in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And again, it's a phenomenal program. I personally put my mom on it recently, and she couldn't believe how easy it was. And she's 90 years old. So I don't know anybody that's a senior that doesn't at one time think about dementia or think about falling or think about losing some skills and they want to stay independent. So you're giving people a great gift on this, and they'll thank you profusely. And you could actually get on it yourself. You're not 65, you could pay for it if you want to just go through the process to see what it's like as your patients will. So with that, I thank everybody for being on. I look forward to answering any more questions. Again, go on my link or email me or call me, and we'll do a follow-up
We
with
do
you.
have another question, George.
Okay.
Yeah, cash-based pharmacy. So it is going to bill to Medicare, but absolutely, if you have 65 and older patients, they're going to qualify. So it doesn't matter if you're in network with insurances or not, because the patient will be in network with Medicare. Billing is all done by CereSkills, so you don't have to be in network with the payer. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today, and please, I encourage you to reach out to get on George's calendar, and let's get you set up and going. Again, first mover advantage here. I'm going to try to reach out to as many of our community pharmacy partners as possible before all the doctors start to set this up. Even though it's a 23-year-old program, it just came to the United States recently, and Medicare just started covering it, in 2017? Is that right, Tony? So it's been fairly recent that Medicare has actually started covering this program, and so it's been really approached from the provider side, from the doctor side. but I really want to help our community pharmacies bring in more profit, not just revenue, but actual profits. I'm glad that you pointed that out, Tony. I changed my roundtable to say that it's the more profit roundtable instead of more revenue, because that's key, right?
It is, profit is key. One of the other things that has come up, and I think I'll probably will add a slide to this. Why is Medicare willing to do this? Well, it's really simple. Everything comes back to money. They've
Yep.
discovered if they keep us, and I'm talking for myself, senior citizens, from falling and going into the hospital, that the return on investment is phenomenal. So they have a money motivation. It's about they're spending money to save multiples. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why this works so well, and that's why the wellness programs, Brim Wellness is working so well, is because of the preventative. We're focused on doing, preventative care so that patients don't end up, hospitalized or in urgent care situations. So doing those screenings early, checking people for diabetes before they have full-blown diabetes, and heart health and osteoporosis screenings, all of that can be done, through the wellness. So yeah, so that's why a lot of people that I invited today are ones that have already been introduced to getting into the network, the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network, and looking at setting up their own wellness clinic. And this is just a really good turnkey clinical solution to start that whole process and getting into well care.
well, thanks, Breck, for hosting us, and we look forward to a great business relationship where all the pharmacies and all of us work together to keep pharmacies alive and thriving.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care. And happy holidays, everyone.